What is going on, RotoGrinders? Thursday night big boy slate. You rarely get those in the association, but it's been a weird week with the cup and all that. 12-gamer big boy slate on FanDuel. Just just a slightly smaller slate on DK. DK dropped the last game that FanDuel is including. That, of course, is Portland and Sacramento. 10 o'clock on the East Coast. DK's cutting it off at 9 Eastern, but still a pile of games, a pile of news. News is dropping as the show starts. We have New York. We kind of knew this was happening. Shout out to New York for winning the cup. And as a reward, they're giving their players some fake injuries. Well, some of these are real. Cat does have a knee. He's not playing basketball tonight. OG's good to go. He's got a knee. He's available. Josh Hart played a lot, so he's out. They gave him an abdomen, and Mitch Robb is out. Well, he always sits out back-to-back stuff. So they play tomorrow against Atlanta. Speaking of Atlanta, Trae Young is back. Wait, did I get that confused? Is it against Atlanta? No, tomorrow's against Philadelphia. Yeah, talking about to producer Steve about that pre-show. Philadelphia, they play tomorrow night. Chop, happy Thursday. I feel like I don't see you on Thursdays either. The whole week's been kind of weird. Typically, I see you on Monday, which I don't believe we did because that was a like a 2-gamer or something like that. So is your schedule all funky as well this time of year, Chop?
I don't know. Just do it. I just do what they tell me to do. I'm not really
sure.
But I'll say this much. I can't believe. Well, first of all, the Knicks are getting the curse of the cup. This is what happens to every team that wins the cup.
Curses. It's been around for 3 years. There's a curse of the cup.
Yes, every team. Then immediately has all these injuries for the next month or so. They're trying to rehab all this stuff. It's
Milwaukee won it, and the Lakers won it. Those are the two teams that won it, right?
And they went down the gutter within a month. The curse of the cup, Dean. It happened. I don't know what it is, but
this is your own personal fetch. You're trying to make this a thing.
No, that's real. That's real stuff, man. I ain't trying to.
3 instances, and these New York guys aren't even hurt. They're not hurt. They're fine.
Who are you to say? They played extra basketball. They were playing basketball when nobody else was. So Karl Anthony Towns.
He's fine.
You don't think he left the game partially for we didn't think he was going to come back in the fourth quarter.
Did you see him celebrating?
But we didn't even. That's adrenaline, man. We didn't think he was coming back in the fourth quarter, so he for sure hurt.
The other guys, come on.
Mitch Robb, I don't know about Mitch Robb. Mitch Robb's perpetually hurt, and Josh Hart clearly hurt. He has a torn thumb muscle. So he has the rest up tonight, man. That thing won't be the same.
I did see that clip.
Yeah, it won't be the same for a while, man. But otherwise, yeah. Well, and Dean,
I like Josh Hart.
On top of all of that, we got a division-winning football game tonight. Winner is going to win the division in football tonight, so that should be awesome.
Oh, is that for sure? I know I didn't realize it was it would end.
It's going to be hard for the team that loses to make up a game plus the tiebreakers, and they'll have only 2 games left. Yeah, it'll be done deal.
You're going to be on later tonight, 7:30, I believe. Speaking of you do whatever they tell you to do. They're telling you to do Showdown tonight with I believe Davis Maddock, yourself, Davis Maddock, doing some Showdown tonight, 7:30 on the East Coast, taking you guys up to kickoff. It's a weird start. I guess it's a local 5 o'clock start time or so. It's an 8:30 game, right? 5:30. Seattle there. Some funky wind, I think, as well. I know Roth was talking about that. I did bet the under earlier in the week because I guess Puka's not playing. I assume he's not playing. I haven't dug into it.
Devontae's the one.
Devontae. Puka's up to other things. He's doing podcasts. It's a whole other conversation.
The guy needs to focus a little bit, man.
All right. Let's talk about tonight's main slate again. 12-gamer on FanDuel, 11-gamer on DK. Crunch time coming in about an hour and change. Our boy Kirkwood's jumping in here, as well as TJ Zwarych, and Roth will be holding it down, talking about the slate. And yeah, Trae Young is back. We're going to get a refresh as far as this New York stuff. We're going to get some value there. There's a chance we lose Jakob Poeltl. He seems to be highly questionable, midday downgrade. Maybe they let Sandro Mamukelashvili get a old revenge game there against his old team, San Antonio. We just got an update as far as projections now. So if you guys have the old lineup HQ, give it a refresh. Most appealing game on the board for me. I mean, it's a massive slate, right? But biggest total, and we have some injuries on both sides of the ball. I say injuries. Lauri Markkanen's not. He's another guy that's not injured. They got to give him an injury tag though. They gave him a groin. He's not playing basketball. Of course, the Lakers, are side. They have real injuries. Austin Reeves is hurt. Vincent's hurt. DeAndre Ayton as well. So, premier spots, biggest total on the board. Luka looks incredible. Of course, there's Joker as well, who's always awesome. Anthony Davis seems highly questionable. It's also of note. I want to keep that one in mind. That's a later game. I think it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Is it 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock? 9 o'clock. No, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. I cannot read. 8 o'clock on the East Coast. So that's another one that could certainly change the slate to some degree. Anything you want to say big picture-wise here, Chop, before we dive in? Tari Eason officially questionable. I think the expectations are he's going to play tonight. We talk about New York. We just got that. Miami. Oh, so it's Atlanta, Miami, New York, OKC, San Antonio. Those 5 teams are on the front end of a back-to-back. So maybe Wemby doesn't play tomorrow or maybe doesn't play tonight, but you got to think he doesn't play both games. I don't know. They're really babying him, but he's not on the injury report officially and probably doesn't get a huge boost in minutes. It's hard to kind of keep – he didn't play a ton of minutes in the I guess he played 25, I want to say, in the Cup final. You got anything, Chop, a big picture, or shall we just dive in and break it down?
Nope.
Chop, you know what it is today.
I was wondering about that.
You rarely get to participate in a Fleet Thursday. It's a Fleet Thursday, Chop. Get excited. Win yourself a week free of RG Premium. You get football, baseball, basketball, hockey, MMA, PGA, WNBA, whatever sports happen to be in session. Access the lineup HQ and all the bells, all the whistles, everything. Tell me what fleet I am talking about in the Discord channel, RotoGrinders.com. Taking a peek here at the injury report. I guess he's still questionable, but I did see he was upgraded to probable. I guess the newest injury report, which comes in 18 minutes, I assume will have Trae Young officially in. We're assuming he's in. Nothing else has changed. Porzingis is still dealing with his illness. LaMelo is good to go, at least for so many minutes with his ankle. Trey Mann still out. Nothing really else of note here for Charlotte, but I don't know how many minutes they're going to get on LaMelo. Trae Young probably on some sort of minutes limit. If nothing else, it's going to take a hit on Jalen Johnson's assist rate, I would imagine, which has been outrageous of late. He's been outrageous of late just in general. Good environment in general, but, Young mucks things up a little bit where he plays enough where, he's going to hurt other guys, but not too much where I don't think you can roster him. And that's kind of the same thing with LaMelo Ball. So, in theory, this is an amazing environment, Chop, but I don't really love this game. How about you?
Don't love it. Can't say that I love it. Yeah, I don't know. Charlotte, I'm not really seeing anybody I really want to roster. There's a lot of games, so you got to be particular here. And GPPs, do whatever. I mean, plenty of these guys are good to go for GPPs. I think Jalen Johnson's an awesome player, got a great projection, going to score a lot of points, but he's got a high price tag, and there's just other studs tonight that I think I want to get to. So I'm not grabbing a bunch of shares of this game. It doesn't feel like. So, I'm not totally on this thing.
If you're going to play one player, it's probably Brandon Miller. I don't know if I am. But that's my favorite. I don't make a ton of lineups. I don't run for 150. I don't run 20, that kind of thing. So I have to be pretty selective. And I just think Young just kind of mucks stuff up for Atlanta. And I love Jalen Johnson. I think he's awesome. I think he's the future piece going forward in Atlanta. And, I'm also just not a big Trae Young fan. Like if he's your best player, if he's your number one option, probably not winning anything. Probably not. But Jalen Johnson.
You don't think?
Trae Young, if he's your number one guy, like you're not going anywhere.
I mean, he had nobody around him, and he took him to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That was more of an indictment on the Eastern Conference than anything else, I think.
I don't know. He beat some pretty decent teams.
His defense is pretty mediocre. Being kind by saying that.
Some would say it's an offensive game in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know.
Who would say that?
A lot of people.
It becomes more defensive, if anything.
It becomes more offensive. You don't get as
more half-court stuff.
You get more, the half-court guys. You got to be able to score in a half. Got to be able to score in a half court. Guys like Trae Young can do it. But anyways, I digress, Dean. Let's move on with the slate. We're a forward-thinking show here. We're going to think forward here.
You're a Trae Young truther. I didn't know that.
No, I'm not. But I also think that I'm looking at what he's done in his career, and he has accomplished some good team goals that a lot like he's respectfully.
There's a ceiling. The point
respectfully with a much worse cast around him a lot of years. He's gotten further than Joel Embiid did when Joel was in his prime. So I'm to name one guy. Just to name one guy. No, there's years when Embiid didn't get hurt in the playoffs when, he couldn't do. He got tired in the playoffs because he has to play extra minutes. Now that's a different story. If there was one guy in this game, oh man, you're twisting my arm on this one. I do think Brandon Miller's fine. I think Con Knipple is going to be a great piece.
I like it. Yeah.
Of a real life NBA team. He's got some good fantasy stuff too, but I think he's a really good real life player for a team. It'd still be Jalen Johnson. I'd find a way to, for him to be one of my stars I put on a roster if I had to just choose one. But they're all kind of mixed in and seem about the same.
We don't have updated ownership here, Chop, and this is I think some of the New York pieces are going to be popular now. I would imagine with the news coming on through. Again, if you missed it, Mitch Rob is out, Josh Hart is out, Cat is out. OG Anunoby was on the injury list. He's gonna play tonight. Spoiler. I think he sits tomorrow. That's probably what's happening here. I imagine that's the case. Otherwise, for New York, McBride, of course, is still out. Shamet is still out. Pacers, nothing really new for the Pacers. I'm trying to run some. This is what I figure was going to happen, Chop. Man, first Optimal just ran. Okay, so, geez. Little bit less so on FanDuel. But on DK. Tyler Kolek is really popping on FanDuel, by the way, at 3.9. He's got a projection of 26 fantasy points. That's pretty strong. And that's not even like he doesn't get a 3-point bonus over there. He's also popping on DK. What's really tricky, man, is I like the point guards a lot in this slate. We'll talk about Luka. We'll talk about George. And Tyler Kolek is a point guard. You can only run out three point guards if you throw one in the utility spot. Yeah, he's got a really hefty projection of 26 and change on DK, and he's 3.5. Yabusele Dancing Bear looking really good as well. How many minutes we get with him? He's the second most popular player coming in here. Bridges, Porty, and Brunson and OG are all hitting stuff as well. Let me see what our projection team gave. Brunson 36, Bridges 36, OG 36. Okay, no, that's a surprise. It's Kolek 29, Clarkson 28, Yabusele just 26, Porty 25. A little bit of crossover. Yabusele's the better fantasy player amongst those two, fantasy point per minute wise. Yeah, I know it's just kind of hit us here, Chop. But how do you see in the Knicks? It feels like they're kind of impossible to avoid. To at least grab one per lineup.
Are we on the Knicks game now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. You shocked me. Oh man, goodness gracious. Yeah, it's definitely got a. Knicks are big time value now, so yeah, that's gonna definitely change things up. I mean, they're shorthanded. Yeah, they're coming off of. They played Tuesday night. So and then
from Vegas.
I gotta think some of the other guys besides the veterans get a little bit extra run here. So I think they're all in play. It's going to be tough to get away from some of the Knicks. I don't want to go too overboard on them, but I definitely – the Optimals were kind of spitting out a lot of Tyler Kolek in the showdown. So, of course, whenever you get all these injuries now, he's going to –
You play individual showdowns on, big slates?
No, but it was
only on Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. It was only –
yeah, I got you. Yeah.
There was only one game, Dean. I was trying to get into the spirit of it. To the cup.
I played too. We did a show, the two of us.
Actually, I think I finished 5th place.
Oh, shout out to you. Nice.
But I had a lineup that was tied with like 30 other people. The guy who won it actually had a solo ship. I don't know how he did. Oh, he changed out one player from flex. I had so and so in captain, and then somebody else in flex. He swapped it and left all that money, and then got there. But Yeah, the Knicks are going to jump off the board. So I don't need to, all the Knicks are fine. You can run all the values. I haven't rerun the numbers since this came in while we were actually booting up for the show. So I don't know about that one. The Knicks are all good, though. On the other hand, I actually highlighted Andrea Nembhard as a guy I really like tonight against the Knicks. So that's a guy I'm going to try to shove into some lineups.
Talk to me about Nembhard. I haven't really thought about the Pacers at all.
Yeah, I don't know. You got some guys missing there. It's not a good team. He's been putting up good numbers. He gets plenty of minutes. The Knicks are there. I already thought he could target Jalen Brunson a little bit, but now you got Josh Hart out. Yeah, that's a pretty good defender.
Yeah,
and some other guys out, so he'll be even better now. I mean, they just don't have much this year. It seems like if he's not, it's Siakam and him and Mathurin going off every night, or at least they're taking turns. So yeah, I just like Nembhard in this matchup. I did before the news broke. I'm still sticking with him, and now you got all this Knicks value. We just talked about Jalen Johnson. Man, you got a lot of value now. You can stick 2 stars in your lineup now for sure, easily. Luka and Jalen would not be hard at all.
It's the positional stuff, man. At least for me, I like the point guards tonight, and the point guards are one of the places to save salary. Oh, I'll tell you another spot to save salary is Yabusele, center and power forward. He's got power forward at 3K Stone Min. We're giving him 23 minutes. We're not expecting him to start, but yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good play at 3K. I think it's a better play than Huck Porty, who's 3-1, I think. Minutes wise, I think we're giving similar, right? We're giving Huck Porty 25 minutes. We're giving Yabusele 23. Okay, so chopping the 28 and a slight Huck Porty 21 fantasy points, Yabusele 19. But I think Yabusele's got a bigger ceiling. I think we've seen it before, at least in Philadelphia. We haven't really seen it in New York. He's been buried in this team, just not getting much run at all. Clarkson, certainly of note. He's certainly a guy that's going to be playing more minutes. We're giving him 30. He's, of course, got to score. If he's hitting the shots, he can drop 20 in the bucket and get to there in just points alone. I'm a little bit off on the vets, as far as like a Bridges. Like his role's just kind of going to be the same. Like he's fine, but I'm not giving him a huge bump. If Brunson wants to, he probably could just take a bunch of shots and score 40. I don't know if he wants to, but that's kind of where I'm at. But I do like. I think Yabusele is my favorite, and then Kolek, and that's more positioning than anything, just because Yabusele's got the versatility I like better. But Kolek for sure looks good to me as well at 3.5. Another shooter out there, but and we're gonna get a rematch of ownership. I'm curious to see. I imagine the New York stuff will be popping. We'll let you guys know. But otherwise, anything else as far as New York and the Pacers?
Popping like some popcorn, Dean. I just want to make a little side note, Dean. I had a phenomenal 5-team player parlay cooking last night. I nailed all four of my college football props.
Who played?
Oh man, some lower level teams. Like that's the best ones to grab, right? Like they don't know who the backup quarterbacks are and what they can do, but if you do the research, you can figure out this guy doesn't pass, but he can run. He'll get his 100 yards rushing or whatever. Anyway, I was cooking. Dean had one NBA guy on there, and I did this in the middle of the afternoon before Anthony Edwards got ruled out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like forward thinking. Let's put Julius Randle points just in case. So I cooked all 4, and then I'm sitting back waiting on Randle to wrap up the night. That scum crumb bum couldn't even get 23 real life points, man. Ruined my parlay, Dean. And I don't do the flex either. I do the all in. You gotta go 5 for 5, man.
Yeah,
ridiculous, Julius.
No half measures. I hope you didn't tweet at him. You didn't tweet at him, right?
Yeah, I tweeted, "You crumb scum bum."
I mean, that's like the worst. That's the worst.
Yeah, it is bad. Yep, tweeting at him or the DM and don't DM the guy.
I'm sure they hear enough.
Leave him alone.
At the games, they must hate the player props so much. Okay, you got to score 6 more points. Like, they don't care about your parlay. Heat. Does anybody ever yell like "stop scoring"? Nobody bets under, so they don't stop shooting, miss. Miami. My Heat are in Brooklyn. 228.5 is the total. Miami is an 8.5 point favorite. We have Tyler Hero still out, kind of a late scratch last time. Now it's that toe. It's still that toe. He's not playing. Jovic is out. He's got that elbow. They're saying at least a week or so. Pele Larson, another role player, also not available with his ankle. Norm Powell, it's not the groin, it's the calf now. Now he's got a calf. He's going to play with the calf. It is the front half of back-to-back. Just kind of keep of note. Drew Smith is available for Miami with his hip. As far as Brooklyn, Cam Thomas is still out. Otherwise, really nothing new with the Nets. Michael Porter, man, the price is just crazy, but it is justified in the matchup against Miami. We love that pace as well. How do you feel about the Heat and the Nets?
I feel like Tyler Hero's probably resting to keep him healthy before the trade, where they get Giannis.
Oh yeah,
that's just my thought. I don't know.
From the area, right? Isn't Hero from Milwaukee or close to that area? I think
that's what I heard, but I don't think that matters. I mean, if they were going to trade him, they were going to trade. I don't think he has a no trade. He's not young. He's not old enough to have a no trade clause anyway. But anyway,
he's from Wisconsin. Yeah,
I digress. We got Brooklyn, Miami. This is so I kind of wanted to target the inside guys against Miami tonight. So Claxton and Clowney, but obviously I'll highlight Claxton a little bit more because he's just been a lot better this year. Still got a good price tag on him. I think you can go that route. Porter, if he gets hot with his threes, but that's what he does. He just shoots threes. He's not really going to attack the rim like I want in this matchup. So I'm on Claxton more than anything. Rebounding, inside scoring. I want to get some of that. For Miami, I was a little bit thrown off with the Norman Powell news earlier in the day, but it looks like he's going to play. I still don't know how much interest I have in him. The main guy I want to attack here is Bam Adebayo. Great price tag, good matchup for him. I really want to go that route, and I think they're fine. I was hoping Norman Powell would sit, and then we could get some real value with some of these other Miami mid-tier guys who would be really good plays, but that's not going to be the case. So I'm just probably going to limit my exposure to just a couple of them, with Bam being the main guy.
The guy I want to play, and I'm not sure if I am, but Khalil Ware, especially on DK where he's 5.
You always say Khalil Ware, man.
When guys are out, he has an opportunity.
Okay.
He's got like right now we're projecting 22 minutes, but 34 minutes for Bam, so we're giving 56 minutes of crossover. And he's a high variance play where if you're trying to win, if you're trying to win, he's somebody that can put up 40. He actually could start this game. Like, he's currently not being projected to start. We're currently giving him 22 minutes. It's certainly possible that Fontecchio doesn't start and they go Mitchell, Powell, Wiggins, Ware, and Bam. Like, that wouldn't shock me. And of course, that would change the minutes projection. We won't know that until 7 o'clock, almost definitely, because the Heat tend to not give you anything until they absolutely have to. And Clowney and Claxton, they're not the smallest. I think there's a chance we see Ware starting. They are pretty thin, and Hake off the bench, to play 28 to 32 minutes, depending on. But this is what I like Miami, when pieces are out, and maybe we get Powell sitting tomorrow. Like I said, it's a front end of a back-to-back. We'll see how Miami handles that. But we care about today and today only in DFS. I'm fine with Bam, but Ware is just because you catch him on the right night, you can get 5 or 6 stocks and 15 rebounds. Of course, sometimes you try to force that, and I don't play him when everybody's healthy. But when guys are out, when rotation pieces are out, and they have 3, right? Heroes out, and they don't have to play a ton of minutes. They don't have to get Fontecchio a run. He played last game and he stunk. He didn't make his threes. If he doesn't make his threes, he's worthless, basically. So I think there's a chance. I think he's got a chance. It's more like a deep tournament cut.
Yeah, you gonna be okay when he gets traded for Giannis?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I think he's going to be really good. And yes. Yeah.
Right.
If you Hero and Ware for Giannis, yeah. Where do I sign? Giannis is one of the greatest players of our generation.
I mean, he was.
He still is.
Okay.
He still probably has 3 more good years, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's almost 37.
No, he's not almost 37.
He is.
I think he's 30 or 31, right? He's 31, I think.
You don't think that, just like the Dominican baseball players, that the Grecian basketball players aren't altering their birth certificates? Come on, man. I'm naive.
For what other players are doing?
How naive, man.
I mean, look, if he's 37, he's playing like the greatest 37-year-old of all time. How about that? This game, I think, is a catch-me-up game. Clippers, Thunder, 221.5 is the total. Clippers, they are down bad. I was looking at Tankathon Chop. I'm kind of like leading the witness. Do you know the Clippers? I won't even ask you. Do you know the Clippers have the third worst record in the NBA? The Clippers, like this is the team people are, this is I don't think the oldest team, but if everything goes well for them, and of course their offseason, the whole Kawhi, Pablo Torre stuff, like it's been just a terrible, terrible offseason for the Clippers. They're tied with Sacramento and Indiana at 6-20, and even worse, the trade that keeps on giving. They're playing OKC tonight.
Look who they're playing tonight.
OKC is incentivized to just shellac this team because they're getting this pick right now.
Imagine if OKC gets a top 3 or 4 pick, man. Top 3 pick.
Amazing.
They got to pull that. I mean, they have no other choice. The Clippers, they have no other choice but to it's not like, okay, we're bad, let's pull the plug and tank 1 year and get one of these great players that are coming out in 2026. You don't have that option now. So you've got to, unless they wanted to make a trade with OKC and get the rights to their pick back, then just seal the deal for OKC. But that's another story. Yeah, that's the thing, Dean, about this game is I know, yeah, it is a catch-me-up game, but the catch-me-up part is it going to be that big of a blowout? Because if we think it's going to be a blowout, it's tough to get behind any of the main players in this game. If you think it kind of stays a little bit within range, I think there are some plays here. Mainly, I kind of think Kawhi Leonard without James Harden. And if we think this game could be somewhat close, I'm okay with taking an individual player against OKC. I'm not stacking against them, I'm not playing like full teams against them of any sort, but I think an individual player like Kawhi is pretty much matchup proof if he's on his game with this much usage. So if you think it stays close, I like Kawhi. And regardless of if it stays close tonight, I'm going to flip it on OKC. I'm probably going to – I kind of like a guy like Isaiah Joe. Get hot from the three-point range. Minutes aren't really an issue here because he never plays minutes anyway. You're just looking for him to get hot from the outside. Maybe he gets a couple extra minutes if there's a blowout. If not, we're banking on get hot from the outside. This is a bad three-point shooting defense. He takes a lot of threes. A guy like that, and he's got Wiggins is another guy, but Joe is 3,400. I like the price tag. Although I needed it a lot more about 20 minutes ago before the Knicks news broke. But
it's 1 in 150 for me. It's really hard to see. The slate is so big. I hear the story you're telling. But you're begging for 20 minutes for Isaiah.
Listen, it sounded better pre-show, and then the Knicks ruled everybody out, and it's a free for all.
By the way, I didn't mention Hartenstein not playing for OKC and James Harden. James Harden's out with a calf. This just feels like a full-on shellacking, and like you mentioned, will SGA play the fourth quarter? He hasn't seen a pile of fourth quarters. Sure, they're all professionals, and you never really know. And this game could stay close, but I don't see myself playing anybody in this game. I've done a terrible job keeping up with Fleet Thursday. We got to drop the second clue for the people. The second clue for Fleet Thursday is top. So it's tunnel and top. And I don't think we have any winners. It's not Ray Lewis or Brian Dawkins or Ben Roethlisberger or Pat Mahomes or Kirk Cousins, Drake London. It's not Forrest Gump either. A lot of guesses coming on through. Let me know what today's Fleet it is. Chop. It is not Mean Joe Green. Was that in reference to the Coke commercial? Is that what you're doing there?
Absolutely, Dean. The Coke commercial shot in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And top could be the twisty top on a Coke or something. I don't know.
Man. Yeah. It's I'm not giving you a lot with the first two. I mean, they'll make sense when you know who it is, but okay. We should scoot along because the Clippers Thunder, not a lot going on there. Wizards, Spurs, 240.5 is the total. Sar is back for Washington. They're still 16-point dogs. Spurs, fresh off of losing the finals there in the Cup. Wemby, we're not really getting a price discount. We're still projecting him to come off the bench as far as who's in and out in this one. Taking a peek. Malachi Branham is out for Washington. Kispert, of course, is still out with his thumb. No Middleton. He's got that knee. San Antonio is fully healthy for anybody that's relevant. I'm kind of thinking there's going to be some shenanigans. Something with Wemby because they're on the front end of a back-to-back. Maybe it's tomorrow, but maybe the fans see him tonight. So maybe rest tomorrow. I think he's on the road Maybe that's in Atlanta. I think that's in Atlanta tomorrow. I was looking at both those. Yeah. But doesn't matter. I can't imagine. I shouldn't say can't imagine. But great matchup, of course, against Washington for Wemby. The minutes tonight is the issue. We are projecting, I think we're projecting mid-20s. 24. And he's 10-8 on DK. I think he's 12-something on FanDuel. This is a tough game. Outside of outside of Dylan Harper, I was going to call him Derek Harper. Dylan Harper, he's certainly showing himself worthy of being the second overall pick. Still just 25 minutes. Maybe he plays some garbage time against Washington as well. Not sure how long he would stick around for. But again, he's also a guard, and that's where I'm finding a lot of my favorite plays tonight, what makes it a little bit trickier. I don't have anybody in Washington. Like, if you want to play Bub, I guess you can. He's getting some minutes. But I don't have anybody in Washington. And Harper's like the only play I really like in this game. How about yourself?
I want to go back to Tuesday night, Dean, when the coach came out and said, he foresees a similar minutes pattern with Wemby. And that was about 21 minutes, and our projection team put it at 25 minutes, and we were like, "Oh man, maybe 25 minutes." Our projection team they're taking some liberty there. Do you know what Wemby ended up playing?
We played 24-25.
He played 25 minutes. Our projection seems so good, man. On the ball, man, just crushing it, man. Jamino's like top 3 in the Fantasy Pros NFL rankings this year. Like, he's crushing that too. So
shout out to Jamino.
Yeah, man, Jamino's on top of it. I'm with you here. This is going to probably be a blowout. San Antonio's a good team. Washington's not a good team. Wemby's back, so I don't see if they wouldn't push him, like really push him in the cup game. I don't think they're pushing him against Washington. So you're probably going to get your 25 minutes out of him. The rest of that is a little weird. The Harper thing. I mean, he is who he is. He's got to get hot from outside shooting, whatever range that is for him, mid range, or not a good 3-point shooter right now necessarily, but. Yeah, if he hits his outside shots, he's a cheap price. I'm fine with that. But otherwise, I don't like this, man. I think everything's going to be spread out. The minutes, I think, are going to be spread out pretty good here for San Antonio. And when they're healthy, Castle's an elite. I don't know if he's elite. He's a very good defender. But Wemby makes the whole thing go with his defense for those 25 minutes. You're not going to do too much in there. So don't like Washington. Yeah. I don't know. Just not a great game for me to target anybody from, as long as Wemby's on this minutes limit.
The other thing is Wemby's been playing more minutes in the second half than the first half, and he's coming off the bench. And I assume he's still coming off the bench, unless otherwise noted. If they're beating the Wizards like they should be beating the Wizards, maybe he doesn't get the second half run, the second half bump. Like, are they going to keep him out there for an extended period if they're up 20? With like 8 minutes to go, and he already is not playing the start of the second half? It becomes like one of those like Nas Reed situations where you're almost kind of penalized by the blowout when you're like the best player coming off the bench, if that makes sense. I can't see playing Wemby in the few lineups that I'm making. There's just no chance. All right. Up next, Toronto and Milwaukee. Let's see. It's 219.5 is the total. Not a very appealing number. Toronto is a 3-point favorite at the Bucks, future home of Tyler Hero, according to Chop, and Khalil Ware, potentially. We shall see. No Giannis. Yeah, all the Antetokounmpos, actually. Giannis and Alex are both unavailable tonight. I say all. Is Thanasis also in Milwaukee? Where's Thanasis? He's in the team, right? Yeah, he's available. Thanasis is available. Cole Anthony is questionable. AJ Green, we haven't seen him for a while, right? He's got that AC joint. He's questionable. Kyle Kuzma, also questionable. He had the fish. He is ill. As far as Toronto, RJ Barrett's still out with that knee, obviously. Midday downgrade back. Jakob Poeltl. He's been dealing with that back all season long. He's a big boy. He lumbers. I think there's a pretty good chance he's not playing basketball tonight. Maybe we get Sandro Mamakhelishvili for the old revenge game tonight against one of his former teams, the Bucks. He's pretty appealing. I think he's also, he's power forward eligible too at 4.3K. We talked about Yabusele. There's another cheap potential power forward for us. How you seeing the Raptors and the Bucks?
Yeah, this is respectfully to TJ. This is an ugly game. It's an ugly game. I'm not liking very much of it. I would say, as pointed out in chat earlier, the Eastern Conference is wide open. the Heat go out and get Giannis, they can be the conference champs. I have no doubt about that. Like, it's
Get swept again in the finals.
Yeah, it's just an ugly conference. So I would go make that move. And then if you're Milwaukee, once you do that, that's the domino that gets everything rolling. And then you can trade Ryan Rollins to the Rockets, man. The point guard action. That's just what the Rockets need. So
you guys can use him, actually.
Hell yeah. Need a point guard, man. Need to get Amin out of that role. And yeah, that'd be a good one. But as far as the DFS tonight, not loving this stuff, man. Brandon Ingram's in play if he's hitting his outside shots. Don't like him because I don't think he does enough in the other stats to really boost you up. Quickly can get hot. Barnes does do a lot in the other stats, so he's always in play, but he's 9K. Milwaukee side, I'm just not really. I don't know. They're missing Giannis, but it doesn't feel like years of past where if Giannis is out, I can play Bobby Portis. He's going to fire up. That's not like that anymore. And Kuzma's a bad real life player. And so I'm not in on this team at all, man. As long as Porter's around, he hurts Rollins. As long as Rollins is around, he kind of takes away from Porter just a little bit, just enough. Porter's up to 8,200. I'm just not feeling it, man. Not a great game.
I would play Porter if you're going to force me to play somebody. The prices have adjusted on both those guys, obviously. And it is of note, there are some key players. If all these guys are out for Milwaukee, I guess things might change. I mean, Green hasn't played for a while. Anthony hasn't played. He's been buried. But if Kuzma's out, maybe Portis gets elevated. Maybe. I would keep an eye on that. I don't think we have an if-then setup for that. Our if-then that I was looking at as far as this game was Pirtle. If Pirtle's out, we got Sandro projected for 30 minutes, 28 FanDuel, 28 DK, which would be a pretty positive value. So I would like him a good bit as a salary saver. Dropping the third clue for the people for Fleet Thursday. We have Tunnel top. Third clue chop is River. It's not Myles Garrett or Stephon Diggs or Antonio Brown or Bo Jackson or Terrence Crawford or Eric Dickerson. A lot of names coming on through. All right, let's jump to our next game here, Chop. It is your Rockets. Your Rockets against the Pels. 235.5 is the total. Of course, Houston, big boy favorites here. 9.5 on the road in New Orleans. Taking a peek at the injury report for this one. Tari Eason questionable. I think there's a chance he comes back tonight. The reason why you need to get yourself some Ryan Rollins or something of that sort. FEV, Freddie VanVleet, of course, is still out. New Orleans getting healthier. We're projecting Zion to start. That's of note. Of course, his minutes have been subdued. I did see a note, by the way. LaMelo Ball will have his minutes heavily monitored, not just monitored, Chop. That's old-fashioned. Heavily monitored. If he plays Thursday, I thought he's probable. Is he not going to play now? I don't know. I assume he's playing, but that was just kind of the quote there we're seeing on the interwebs. Talk to me about your Rockets. Şengün feels like an awesome play here. It's just a salary thing, but he's got to be in your pool, if nothing else. How do you see Houston and the Pelicans?
I see it. Are you sure it's not Mean Joe Green as the answer?
I'm positive.
River. Now we're talking about Pittsburgh, Three River Stadium.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you're right. It's making sense, but no, I'm sure it's not Mean Joe Green. But yeah,
goodness gracious,
nice guy.
What do I want to do with New Orleans? Probably not much. Like, I don't know. It's a tough defense with a lot of length. I'm not sure I want to plug those guys in there. Man, Derek Queen's like 7,400 now on DraftKings. That's a bit much.
What do you do with that? Yeah,
that's a bit much. And so I'm not sure New Orleans is the game. I'm with you on Şengün. I think he's an awesome play. I'm in Thompson in a matchup like this. It just feels like a matchup. Kevin Durant takes a bit of a backseat scoring and lets some of the younger guys get going. So maybe I'm in Thompson. Jabari Brooks is cheap enough. You can get that. If you can hit some three-pointers out of him, he's a pretty good play. I don't know. Şengün is definitely off the charts good play in this one, though. Şengün's,
for sure,
focal point of the offense tonight. It feels like for at least for a while. For as long as this thing is competitive, which it might be because it's a road game and it's in New Orleans, so maybe they can keep it a little bit closer. But yeah, I'm more on the train of the younger guys: Şengün, Amin, and Jabari Smith, and a little bit less Kevin Durant.
Hypothetically, Chop, would you trade Şengün and Shepherd?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
No. For allegedly 37-year-old Giannis, you wouldn't do it.
No, I don't think, because because we need a point guard.
Point Giannis.
If you're kicking in Ryan Rollins, I'll think about it. But I have to say,
that's what's going to close the deal, Ryan Rollins. So Ryan Rollins,
point guard. I don't think I want that anyway, because Dean, I don't know if you know this, and this is not being like, one of those stupid things that we do with Amari Cooper, still 19 years old. Şengün is literally like, I think, still 22 or 23 years old.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's getting better.
Like, he is the guy on offense that everything's running through right now. He's point Şengün. So I don't know that you're not replacing that with Giannis on offense. Giannis is a better all around player. You're getting, all that good stuff, but
just turned 23, by the way, in July.
Three years from now, you're looking up and you're going, man, we traded away Şengün and we got this Giannis guy. He's really bad now. I don't know. I don't think I don't want to do that. Now,
the counterpoint, Chop, is like, when you're getting the almost always when superstars are traded in the NBA, almost always the team getting the superstar is getting the better end of the deal. Like, it's really, really hard to get fair value for superstars, but
I mean, I get that, but I also want to say that the guy just signed a very friendly contract too, pretty recently. Şengün did. God dang. Let me look it up real quick for you, Dean, because it's on my mind now.
So you said, not even.
Yeah, he just signed a 5-year extension, man. He's just signed a 5-year extension. He's locked in place, 5 years, young guy, only ascending, getting better. And offensively, I think right now, he's probably better than Giannis. I might be misspeaking because I'm a Rockets fan. Clearly not the better all-around player, and defensively, it's not even close. But I don't think I want to make that trade now.
The chat's saying, what about Paul George? And it's like,
oh, what?
I mean, this is a different level. Paul George was never at Giannis level superstars. There are levels. There are levels. I'm talking about the top. I'm like when LeBron was traded to Miami. There are levels. Come on. I understand your point, but there are levels. There are different degrees.
There's levels. And you got to be careful with, like, the uninformed person trying to weigh in on things. I've been hearing a lot today. Is the New York Jets might let go of Aaron Glenn as a head coach after 1 year, which is fine. I think he kind of stinks. There's a lot. I'm on the Cowboys boards, the message boards, and then they're like, "Oh, bring Aaron Glenn home as the defensive coordinator. Bring Aaron Glenn home, man. Aaron Glenn, dude, he stinks. Even as a coordinator, he stinks. It's uninformed opinion. Let's not do that."
All right. TJ saying LeBron was not traded to Miami. Was that not a sign and trade? Am I making this up? Was that not a sign and trade? And like Cleveland got like some picks from Miami. Am I making this up? I feel like that really happened. But TJ is also the same person that said, I don't know if he said Anthony Edwards is not a superstar. So he's got different levels of what superstars are or not.
Oh man. Now ask me Şengün for Anthony Edwards now. Oh, now we're talking.
Yes?
Oh yeah. I love Anthony Edwards, man. He's good.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough call. Maybe.
I think he's good, man. I think he's.
I like both of them, but maybe it is Edwards. I'm not sure. Make that a poll question, Steve. Who do you want for the next 5-10 years? Do you want Anthony Edwards or do you want Şengün? I guess Edwards is going to win the poll question, I would imagine. Yeah, TJ said, yes, I know there was a decision TV show. Yes, I was aware of it. It raised a lot of money for kids. Nobody wanted to talk about that, but it raised a lot of money for kids. Nobody cares because that was LeBron being selfish. No, it was a sign and trade. I'm pretty sure it was a sign and trade. Somebody give that a Google. I'm doing things. I'm doing a show. Pistons and the Mavs, 228.5. That's the total in this game. Dallas is an 8-point dog. They stink, of course. As far as who's in and who's out, well, this is kind of a tricky one because it's 8:30 and we don't know what Anthony Davis. He's officially questionable. Najee Marshall officially questionable. D'Angelo Russell wouldn't matter. He's still ill, but because Brandon Williams is questionable, he may matter to some degree. If both those guys are out, then Nembhard, again, another point guard, will be asked to play a ton here. But we don't have the news, right? We have Williams, Russell, questionable, Marshall, questionable. Two of those guys with illness, and Davis dealing with that calf, not at practice. So dicey. I don't know if he's going to play today. Detroit, the problem with them, Chop, is they're just too healthy. They're too healthy, and they play too deep of a rotation. So, everybody's kind of priced where they should be. We've seen the price on Duren decrease as it should. I don't know if it's decreased enough. If you need a salary saver, if you need a big spend, Cunningham's great. But again, lower point guard. I like him, but I like Luka more, so I'm probably not getting there. I don't like this game unless like things get weird for Dallas if a lot of players are out, which may happen.
Yes, it was a sign and trade, Dean.
Oh, turns out TJ is wrong. Is that what we're saying?
It was. I've never seen a sign and trade like that. I didn't even know this was. You could do this with sign and trades. It was like all draft picks.
Yeah.
I thought the whole point was to match some salaries and stuff like that. But yeah, it's all draft picks. But yeah, it was a sign and trade.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys, between you guys,
they didn't mention it in the decision. that was not talked about.
Yeah. Let's see. So Dallas, I like Cooper Flag a lot better when other guys are out and he's crushing like that. So you get a little bit healthier tonight, probably. Don't think I'm on that. Detroit's just a really good team with a really solid defense. I don't think I'm on anybody for Dallas. Detroit-wise, I know the prices are up there, but if I'm taking a stab at somebody, Cade Cunningham is a good star tonight. I think he's a good one. And Jalen Duren. I think you're kind of probably going to beat up Dallas a little bit on the inside if you can. And then those are the two guys who can really do it. So Duren and Cunningham, if I have the money and everything's fine, those are the two guys I want. Just not into the Tobias Harris stuff in 2025. Osir Thompson in the right situation. You can rack up some defensive stats, but when they're fully healthy, I don't think I want to go that route. So Duren and Cunningham are my favorites.
So if Davis, Williams, D'Angelo Russell are all out, I'm looking at the if-then stuff. Yeah, Nembhard, we have 28 minutes, 27 DK. Washington would look all right. Flag would look like the best play. By the way, he's good. Turns out he's very good. 19? Is he 19?
What?
Yeah.
You think he's good?
Turns out he's very good.
People buried him early?
People were hurting him really quickly. And yeah.
And dude, he's always been really good. Like, yeah, he's gonna be a super good real life player, not just no empty stats, man.
Yeah.
Really good real life player that can both ways, two-way player.
Did I see a report that supposedly Davis is back on the market? Am I making this up? I feel like I saw something like that. But
I've seen that too. That'd be hilarious. I mean,
well, it's a new regime, I guess, right? So whatever they inherited.
I mean, people really thought Kyrie was going to come back this year and be productive. Like he just tore his ACL near the end of last year, and he's like in his mid-30s. It was never going to happen this year. So they should have blew up the whole thing once they got the Cooper Flag pick. Get Anthony Davis at a much higher value and trade him off, and you can really start a quick rebuild.
Who would Davis best fit on? Like, what team would actually work? The problem is, like, everybody's playing for second. Like, the Thunder, they're just going to win.
Oh, no, man. You get the right team and gets Anthony Davis. You never know. But, like, now his trade value is like nothing because of this season so far. But, like, you think about it preseason, before he had any health issues, like you could have got something for him. I mean, there's teams out there. The Thunder are really good, Dean, but man, they're all it takes is one tweak of the ankle for SGA.
Sure. Yes.
So you can't just assume you're playing for second. If you're that good, you play for it, you take your shot, and you hope. Like if you're the Miami Heat, you just said a few minutes ago, oh yeah, they can win the Eastern Conference, but then you get Well, what happens if somebody does the dirty work in the Western Conference and knocks OKC out? Or like, you never know, man.
I mean, Denver and Houston and I guess San Antonio is like it's one of those four teams, but nobody else, right? There's nobody else amongst any of us in the West. I don't think has a shot. And really, OKC, like I said, barring something goofy, some severe injury, very likely, I think the other team coming out. But you're right, the path in the East is much easier for sure, 100%. And if you're if you could just put in the chat, if you could just put Davis in any team, what team would he best fit on? Forget like trades or whatever. You could
Producer Steve is not happy with our Eastern Conference Miami Heat talk.
Well, look, his next one, they won a cup.
You said the Knicks weren't even going to win the cup. You guys were wrong once.
I was wrong. I thought the Spurs would beat them. Yeah, I'll take the L. It's fine. One game though, 7 games, the better team wins.
Did
almost
you get
always.
your? Did you
Knicks
get
are the better
your?
team. Who's good on the Heat? Tyler Hero.
Well, no, they're
Giannis,
saying
I'm
if
told
they're
to be
saying
on
if they
the team.
trade for Giannis.
If you had Giannis, I missed
Yeah,
that.
we were saying
Yeah.
if they trade for Giannis.
Well,
So, Dean, what
I
if
don't
we
know.
add? Who are we adding? Oh, Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
What if
what
we
team
add?
would you
What if we add Anthony Davis to the Pistons? What would you say then? Would that be enough to do something for Detroit?
That'd be interesting. I guess he would
He
play
played 3
the
games
4.
before he was hurt.
He would, but I mean, if he was healthy, let's just suppose we're supposing we got Anthony Davis healthy.
Good defense. Cunningham,
they're a really good team.
Osar, imagine Davis, Osar, and Duran. That'd be a good defensive team for sure.
What if Dean? Oh, I got one for you, Dean. Because this team is weak in the middle. What if we added a relatively healthy Anthony Davis to the Boston Celtics, and then Tatum came back right around playoff time?
I've already sold myself on Tatum going back. I have 10-1 or 11-1 on Boston to win the Eastern Conference. I have some tickets for that. Yeah, I mean, sure, it would be amazing. I don't know if there's a path for that, but there's certainly what would they have to give up? Yeah, I guess I don't know what they have to salvage to get something for Davis. I would imagine you have to get probably White. I'm guessing probably not Brown. You probably can't get Brown.
Nah, they don't.
You got to get at least White and some.
How many draft? Maybe some draft picks, whatever draft picks you got.
I mean, Davis isn't just a couple draft picks.
No, his value is so low right now, man.
We got to get the fourth clue. The fourth clue is wall, tunnel, top, river, wall. Nobody's guessed Fleet Thursday just yet. We have 3 more games here as far as the main DK slate. If we don't get to, maybe we'll touch on Sacramento and Portland. That's the FanDuel game. If nothing else, you got TJ. TJ is hot in the chat. He's going to come in hot in the show. You got Kirkwood, Kirkdiese as well joining the show, as well as Cheap and Neurologist Kevin Roth around 6:15. Crunch time coming in. We got about 17, 18 minutes or so for the next 3 games. This is my second favorite game on the slate, Chop. Orlando at Denver, 236.5. That is the total. Denver is a 6-point favorite here. It's high and pretty tight. Orlando is missing some pieces. As far as who's in and out in this one, Tristan Da Silva is officially questionable. Jonathan Isaac, midday downgrade questionable. He's not going to play, I assume. But no Wagners, no Mo, no Les, no Franz. All the Wagners are out. And Jalen Suggs also out for the Magic. Christian Brown still out for Denver. Aaron Gordon still out. THJ, Tim Hardaway Jr., officially questionable. He had the fish, so he is ill. Peyton Watson, I've never seen this one before, Chop. Injury report, he's got a trunk. And I was like, trunk?
What?
Yeah, he's got a trunk, but it's a right trunk. So I was like, okay, it's not that. It's a torso, apparently. A trunk is a torso. So he's got a...
I thought it was something else.
Yeah, I did too, but then it says right. And I'm like, well, right. That means there's a left, and that doesn't check out. So, yeah, he's got a trunk, Peyton Watson. So he's questionable with that torso. So follow that, I suppose. No, THJ and Watson are questionable. But, Black, the price has been boosted up, but he's been playing really well. Bane's been better of late, too. I like him better on FanDuel, but certainly you can play him on DK. And then, hey, the Joker, we have all the value. Not all the value. We have a fair bit of value. If you want to get Joker today, you can absolutely do that. How are we feeling about Denver and Orlando?
Feeling interesting, Dean. Feeling interesting about it. Let me see. What are we at? Denver, Jokic, obviously great play. Jamal Murray, all-star year. So either one of those guys, if you want, it should be a competitive game that goes all 4 quarters and stays pretty tight. So either one of those guys are fine. Maybe Cameron Johnson gets a bit of a bump up with the trunk issue and all the other stuff. Da Silva's a corner stander. I'm not messing with him. Carter Jr., I've had enough of that one. Paolo and Bane are fine, but the main player I like in this game, Dean, always bet on Black. Can you tell me what movie that's from?
Yeah, Passenger 47, Wesley Snipes.
Okay, Wesley Snipes. You got it. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, by the way, shout out to Wesley Snipes.
Shout out? Why does he get a shout out?
Because he was ahead of the curve. He knew taxes were a bunch of BS, man. Like, for real. He knew it, and he's like, I'm not paying them. And he was right. But, I mean, they got him. They got him, and they put his ass in jail or whatever. But he was right, though, man. But Anthony Black, man, the kid's good. Still got a good price tag on both sides. A little bit better on DraftKings but it's still a good price tag. Should get a little bit of bump tonight. Already putting up good numbers, playing plenty of minutes. I like Anthony Black quite a bit.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good as far as projection wise. I've not run stuff since all the new news has come in, and certainly more stuff will be dropping. But he's 5'6". He's 6'5" on FanDuel, so it's no longer like sneaky. I think he's a good play over there. I think he's still 5'9", I want to say, on DK. Yeah, he's 5'9" on DK. I like him a little bit more over there. Again, I keep saying the same thing, Chop. Point guards, man. You can throw him at shooting guard, but it's tough, man, as far as point guards today. I might be playing point guard in the utility spot. I think what I might be doing in my main lineup. Typically, not always. You have general rules, but you're always one to break them on everything. Every slate is different, but we talk about Luka soon enough, and we have all the money in the world to get Luka as well. And spoiler, I like him, and I think everybody else does too. Do we have a new batch of ownership? We do. Good job. All right. As of like 10 minutes ago or so. So I would imagine this factors in the New York stuff, and they're taking away from a lot of players. We're showing Black at 18% on DK, Joker at 12, Carter at 11, Murray at 11. We don't know about the Silva. I mean, Bane at 5%. I think is a really, really good tournament play. If I'm playing Joker, I'm probably running it back with somebody in Orlando. Black is the obvious one, right? Just because of salary. But I think Bane's pretty interesting. Banchero too. But and it's also a really good matchup as far as the RG defense versus archetype matchup tool. I think it's the second best matchup in basketball, according to that tool. Is it second? Yes. No, it's first for combo guards. Combo guards have shredded Denver this year. Is there any news coming in here? Let's see. Trae Young will have a minutes limit. That's not surprising. Okay. By the way, we got a winner in the Discord channel. Shout out to Ballers. Chop, you were guessing Joe Namath and Lawrence Taylor. You were stuck on like football players from 50 years ago.
Oh, you're right. You're right. I had tunnel vision. That's on me.
You had tunnel vision because of the clue, the first clue.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the last clue just for fun is sum. It's sum spelled S-U-M, not S-O-M-E. Spelling matters. It's not it's not incidental. So sum is the last clue. Tunnel, top, river, wall, and sum. We'll tell you how we got there. We'll tell you how Ballers got there. Shout out to Ballers getting a week free of RG Premium, getting today's Fleet Thursday. All right, Orlando, Denver. Anything else you want to say as far as this game? How much are you prioritizing Joker? You making one lineup today? No. 5 lineups today?
I'm gonna make a 20 entries.
So you got some Joker.
I probably will. Haven't made them yet. Obviously, waiting for news trying to do it at the very last minute. But yeah. I mean, we're still yet to talk about the highest projected guy on the entire slate. So he's right up there with him. And with plenty of value tonight, I'm sure Joker lineups will be in the mix. I'm not prioritizing him. I would rather have Luka, but then in GPPs, he's fine too. So I'll have some.
I'm surprised by these results, Chap. 60% say they want Chingu in the next 5 years over Anthony Edwards. It's kind of surprising. I thought it'd be 64 the other way, but that's what our chat's saying. I'm not going to yell at you if you say either side. Lakers, Jazz, 242 total, 242 and a half. I don't mean to knock off the hook. And they're 10-point favorites here. The Lakers, the Jazz, the tankathon is coming. Here it comes. No Lauri Markkanen. He's not playing basketball tonight. What body part they give him? They give him a knee or something like that.
He was just out because of rest.
No, I think they actually gave him a body part. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they gave him a groin. They said, "Hey, you got a groin. He's got a groin." So he's not playing basketball this evening. Yes, he's unavailable. They almost gave him a trunk. They said trunk or groin. They said we're going to go groin.
He's almost 7 foot tall. Sure, he's got a trunk.
Well, what kind of card is he drop? Yeah, well, every card, yeah. All right. So with the Lakers, no DeAndre Ayton, no Bronny. Bronny's out.
Wow.
He's in the G League. He's playing in Dubuque or something. Maxi Kleber is available with his lumbar. Austin Reeves, of course, the big one. No Austin Reeves. No DeAndre Ayton and no Gabe Vincent. The Jazz are without Lauri Markkanen. So the Lakers, we're going to get Luka just really, really easy to get to. I was running the numbers earlier. I put it in the survey. I put it on the lineup HQ as well, Chop. I think a lot of us liked him tonight. No surprise, but a 46.34 usage percent when both Reeves and Ayton are off the court. And I think it's like 2 fantasy points per minute. It's just insane, just ludicrous. And not just that, you meld that with the nut matchup, the perfect storm that is facing the Jazz, second fastest team in the league, I believe. No, fourth fastest team in the league. I inverted it. Fourth fastest team in the league and second worst defensive. They're bottom 5 in both defensive rating and I don't want to say bottom 5, top 5 in pace. So they play fast and they play terrible defense. Luka just looks awesome. I assume you agree. And the other pieces are interesting as far as the Lakers as well.
Correct. Luka looks awesome in a vacuum without, having any stipulations on ownership. If ownership was all even somehow, I don't know. Yeah, Luka would be the best player on the slate because he's probably so much further ahead of anybody else to be the leading scorer on the slate. So yeah, he's awesome playing this matchup. But so is Marcus. Marcus Smart's not bad either. If he can hit his 3-point shots, he's going to take some 3-point shots. He's got a cheap salary. Jackson Hayes is going to draw a ton of ownership, and it's probably deservedly so at this point in the day, or at least it was before the Knicks news, and you got a little extra value. But Jackson Hayes deserves only 3,500. You're going to have Ayton out. He's going to have, he's going to get a little run. He was already playing relatively decently fantasy-wise, so he's going to bump up in minutes and a few other things. So I think you got some good pieces on the Lakers, and I think you have some good things to work with to run it back with on the Utah side. Namely, I like Keontae George quite a bit in this game for some of the reasons you mentioned defensively. It should be a really offensive-friendly game in this thing. So I like Keontae George running it back. I don't think Kyle Filipowski is a good real-life player. I don't know where it's all that good stuff, but he has an opportunity. When he's had an opportunity to produce fantasy-wise this year, he's done it. So I think he deserves that 57 to be still in there, recognized. And Nurkic is back, but Markkanen is out, so he should still be okay. And some ownership is going to Bryce Sensabaugh, but that's not the kind of player I want to play on this slate, Dean.
Yeah, I like some of these cheaper Jasmine earlier in the show, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get to them now unless I'm stacking this game in full. And I shouldn't say in full, but unless I'm getting at least 2 and 2 on each side, which I probably will. I do like this game a ton. Collier is also in play, like Bailey, if you want to buy the talent of Bailey. I know he's been kind of up and down and frustrating, but at least there's going to be opportunity there. Yeah, Marcus Smart, like you said, the opportunity should be locked in for him. We're giving him 30 minutes. He had that one game where he hit all those threes, and I'm not sure how consistent that's going to be. Last time out, 9 for 16 from 3. That's the game I'm thinking of? Yeah, the game they lost. That's the game that's fresh in my mind, but that's not something he normally does. He doesn't take that many shots, doesn't make that many shots, but he's going to be out there for a long time, if nothing else. I think Rui's an interesting pivot. If you can certainly play them both, but if you want to pivot off Smart, and also I like his position better, frankly, as far as lineup building. And Rui's 4-1 on FanDuel, which I think is a really, really good price for Rui Hachimura, who's also going to play, 28 to 32 minutes, depending on how well he's playing tonight. I'm going to see what we have as far. Yeah, we're giving him 32. I'm in on George. He's 53 DK points in 3 of his last 5 games. Just shooting like crazy. This game feels really, really awesome for fantasy. Certainly, I guess the Lakers can blow them out. But they're not full throttle. They're without some key pieces. So
are the Lakers the most overrated team in the league?
No. Yes, TJ. If TJ is answering, I would say Toronto. Remember TJ told me Toronto was going to win the East? You remember that? It wasn't that long ago.
I'm talking about not T. I'm talking about the general public, Dean. Like the general public. Are they really on the Lakers bandwagon thinking this is really a?
I feel like they've overachieved at 18-7. Like I don't think that they've
overachieved. Hell yeah, they've overachieved. They stink. But
the most overrated team in the league.
I think a lot of people are really putting the Lakers in finals contention because of this record when they shouldn't be. All right, so I just do want to throw this in there real quick. as far as these Jazz values, the Sensabaugh, the Colliers, and the Baileys. Like everything kind of got blown up with the Knicks news, But before that, and even now, I am still more inclined to take the OKC 3-point shooting role player, like an Isaiah Joe or an Aaron Wiggins or something, rather than these Utah guys to save money. That's where my mind was at pre-show, and I'm still there. That's what I want because it's the OKC rule, Dean.
Which is
other than Shea, every game, and they alternate this, but every game it seems like a role player always goes off. A role player for OKC always goes. You just got to pick one, and you got like 6 to choose from. But I'm fully on board with a guy like Isaiah Joe tonight.
Isaiah Joe. You're still trying to sell me Isaiah Joe?
No, I'm just saying because we're talking about Utah, and you mentioned Collier and Sensabaugh, and they're in a similar price range, and I'd rather have Joe or an OKC role player who can get hot from 3-point range rather than these guys.
I've upset TJ in the chat. He's very mad at me. He'll be on the show shortly. He's going off on a whole diatribe. I may have exaggerated what TJ said. I did Eric. You didn't see it off there. I wasn't doing Eric. I was doing not Eric. What's the opposite of air quotes? I was paraphrasing. All right. Let's talk about the next game, the last game on the DK slate. It's the Warriors and the Suns. We had the Warriors starting lineup. Steve Kerr gave it to us a couple days ago, right? Curry, Moody, Butler, Green, Post for the foreseeable future. It looks like they're going to work Kuminga back in. I did see a note that apparently Budzinski's back on the trade market. I don't know what the trade value is for Pods these days. Probably not as high as it was a couple years ago. But there you go. That's a tricky team and some weird transition, but they can't quite figure out who they are, and they're kind of lost because we talked about all those teams in the West that are just clearly better than them. Okay, so let me get that injury report as far as Golden State. I don't know why I can't find them. I'm scrolling, and they're not popping up for me for some reason. Are they not on the injury report? Am I missing something here, Chop? Phoenix and Golden State. I use this. I rely. You know what it is? It's also a 9:00 game. There it is. That's it. I got to scroll back up. My bad. Grayson Allen is questionable with his knee. Jordan Goodman available, good to go. He's got that jaw. Jalen Green is still out, of course, for the Suns. Curry is questionable. Seth Curry is questionable. He's got a butt, so he's questionable. Al Horford is still out with his sciatica, and Pat Spencer is out for personal issues. Do we like anything in Phoenix, Golden State? Is there anything that excites you? Because I don't, Booker seems a little bit underpriced, right? A little bit underpriced. And I don't hate the idea of playing maybe a little bit of a pinch of Mark Williams. That's about it for me.
Wasn't there a movie with Al Pacino where it was they were in prison or something, and they were all the prisoners were like sciatica, sciatica, sciatica. I don't remember something like that.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody have to Google that for me. But
what's your favorite Al Pacino movie?
Wasn't a huge. I'm not a huge Al Pacino guy.
Yeah, Heat.
So Heat was very good, man. Probably, yeah. I mean, I give you Heat. I mean,
really
some people will say, "Oh, he was really good in Scent of a Woman" or whatever that was. Like, I
still haven't seen that one. I got to see it.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, Heat was really good, but it was really good because De Niro and Val Kilmer. Like,
yeah,
Pacino did. I will say this much, Pacino, and I don't even necessarily like The Godfather, and it took me like 30 years to finally see it, but he was good in The Godfather. I'll give him that much.
There you go.
Anyways, Golden State, Phoenix. You know what, Dean? I don't like this game. I don't like these teams. Golden State's kind of a joke, man. Like, they're going nowhere. They're one of the most nowhere going teams in the NBA, man. It's crazy.
Like no man's land.
Beyond no man's land, which is ironic because they had the entire world in the palm of their hands. They had a championship caliber team. Oh, and the number 3 pick in the draft. And they completely blew it from there. I mean, they completely blew it from there.
They took the big man, right?
With multiple bad draft picks. with good draft capital. But yeah, they stink. They play defensive. When they're healthy, when Curry and Butler are in there, they kind of offset a bunch of stuff. I don't know. It's just ugly. Don't like that brand of basketball. Phoenix isn't that much greater when everybody's healthy. So I don't like this game, Dean. I'm not much on this late night hammer at all.
Scarface getting some love in the chats.
Oh, what am I doing? Scarface was great.
Come on, Chop.
Yeah, that was the bomb right there. It's just a bit long. I mean, that's all.
DiCaprio, by the way, signed on to do the Heat sequel. Apparently, it's going to be like an amazing cast that's assembling now. So there's going to be I think it's a prequel for the Heat movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's happening. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Oh, you know what? Oh, today's Thursday, Dean. Tomorrow is Friday. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
F1?
No, F1 was last Friday.
Oh.
Did you get to watch it?
I did.
It was good. I saw it too. Tomorrow, a
new
one.
It's fun though.
A new one hits the stream tomorrow. Now I saw this one in the theater, Dean.
What's tomorrow?
Friday.
No, but what movie? What movie drops tomorrow?
Somebody in chat. What's the one with Leo? And he just came out. It was really good. The really good one.
Oh, one day after another.
Yes, one battle after another. I seen it in the theater, but it's streaming tomorrow.
I paid for it. I paid like $20 to stream it.
Oh,
yeah, it broke down.
Goodness. I've seen it in the theater, but I'll be watching it again tomorrow. That movie right there was good.
Yeah, PTA is my guy. One of my favorite directors. Oh, we should tell the people about Fleet Thursday. How do we get there? Tunnel, top, river, wall, sum, SUM. Tunnel was in reference to, speaking of movies, and somebody was actually on top of this. They had a pretty good guess. They kind of knew what I was getting at, but just weren't on it. How do you make a tunnel, Chop? How do you make a tunnel? You dig. Famous digs in movies. Dirk Diggler. Clue number 2 was top. Speaking of movies,
Athlete Thursday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're getting to an athlete. This is an athlete.
That's an atrocious first clue.
It's the first clue. Top Gun. You know Top Gun, right? You've seen Top Gun. You were up Top Gun. They actually made a sequel. What was the sequel called? Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, Maverick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Clue number 3 is river.
Man, I don't like these clues.
Well, the first 2 clues are a little. The third clue, river. Name a famous river. You'll eventually get there. Yeah, after 3 or 4. The Amazon River. This person is currently employed by Amazon. Does analysis for Amazon. Clue number 4, wall. Famously, this person's homeland, a wall was taken down in their country. And then sum, SUM. SUM, when you see SUM, what numbers pop in your head after that, Chop? SUM, sum, Glenn Rice, Sum 41? No?
No, not really.
You're not aware of Sum 41, the band Sum 41?
I mean, it's a band, but when I hear the word Sum, I don't think of Sum 41.
Who's the most famous 41 of all time? All the clues in total.
Oh my gosh. I mean, sometimes your clues are good, sometimes they are completely useless. Like I don't even know what to say, but
it's Dirk Diggler. It's Dirk Nowitzki.
One of those days. All right. Good for whoever got that one. Dirk Diggler.
Ballers got it in 4. So shout out to Ballers. Okay. Crunch time is knocking on the door, Chop. Before we do that, before we open the door for crunch time, tell me who's breaking the slate.
Easy, because it's gonna be too easy. Some of the higher owned guys, I don't want to tell you, even though I'm really good. So I'm gonna go with a guy who's getting a little bit lower ownership. Bam Adebayo, breaking the slate, brother. All
right, let's do it. Let's seamlessly transition. I'm not sure if Roth is going to be there. I know he's coming in a couple minutes. If not, if anything, we have TJ Zwarych, one of the greatest DFS players on all Saskatchewan teams, Saskatchewan, Canada, and also a super fan for the Toronto Raptors, as well as it's not Dirk Diggler, but Kirk Diggler. Kirkdiese. Let's do it. Crunch time right now. What's up, boys? TJ, how are things?
What's up? I made a mistake today, Dean.
Okay.
About an hour and a half ago, I took NyQuil thinking it was DayQuil. Wasn't paying attention.
Okay. How long does it kick in? I've never taken it.
It's kicking in. I'm keep yawning and I'm keep forgetting. This slate's going to be crazy for me because my head's all loopy.
Can you take anything? Is there anything you can counteract to do?
No, I was going to make some coffee, but I was too lazy to do it.
Too sleepy.
Yeah.
So TJ, a lot of usage for TJ today. Apparently, you gotta pick up the slack. A good thing it's not 13 games. Close enough.
Oh my God. Is that a 2-gamer?
Luckily, I'm energized from laughing at you the whole show, Dean. That was a pretty rough one, and capped it off with the terrible clues. But it's all right. At least
I don't know how somebody gets it.
Oh, got him. Got his ass.
But what I will say, Dean, just to help you out, do you have an understanding of what bird rights are in the NBA?
Yes.
So trading for a player's bird rights is not the same as trading for a player, but also I would love to understand the universe in which Paul George was never a superstar, but Alperen Şengün. Well, you said superstar trades.
I said there's levels. There's levels. There's different levels of superstar.
Count. That one doesn't count because it's not the same level.
You're telling me Paul George is the superstar of Giannis Antetokounmpo? You're out of your mind. You're misremembering.
But Alperen Şengün is already a superstar.
Yeah. There's levels. He's not Giannis level, but yes. I bet Roth
saying
will tell you
that Anthony
Roth,
Edwards, depending on your definition, is a borderline superstar.
Roth, welcome to the show. Tell me,
Alperen Şengün is above
superstar?
That?
Is Alperen Şengün a superstar? No.
Is Kirkwood up? I think he just fell asleep on us.
No, I got up for my. He's definitely not a superstar. He is to us in DFS land.
No.
He's an upcoming potential star.
Yeah, he's not a superstar.
Just a heads up, Roth, you missed it. Kirkwood accidentally took a bunch of NyQuil, so he may pass out on the show.
It's amazing. Did you try to take DayQuil, but you didn't realize?
And I wasn't paying attention. I was lost on the DraftKings the $900,000 payout on the parlay. Did you read about that story today?
No.
Anyway, I was reading all about that, and then I realized, holy shit, it was green. Wait, green is and I was like, oh my God.
I didn't actually know there was a difference because, they come in the same box, and I drugged the shit out of my wife one day doing that accidentally.
Nice.
Just gave her all these NyQuils in the middle of the day. She was like, I just feel so tired. I'm like, I don't know, wake up. What's your problem? We realized I drugged her.
Never mind. I was going to say something inappropriate.
Thanks for
Dean,
not.
final thing I got for you before you skedaddle, since we've taught you bird rights. We've taught you the definition of a superstar. Mm-hmm. The final thing I would love to let you know about is that the 3 seed is actually in the playoffs. The top 8 seeds make the playoffs. So when somebody says the Toronto Raptors will make the playoffs, and then they are the 3 seed in the conference,
sure, that's going to stand.
That prediction is actually doing very well.
Yeah, they're going to be the 3 seeds at the end of the season for sure, 100%.
Well, make the playoffs,
but not the 3 seed. Also, the Heat were nice. They said, you know what, Cleveland, we're just going to give you some draft picks just for fun. No reason. We're just going to give them to you.
They needed the bird rights because Cleveland could sign for more money than Miami.
We're talking technicalities.
To make it work, they purchased his bird rights for first round for draft picks so that they could pay him more money.
Interesting.
Some would say purchased, some would say traded for.
I think we should just halt that conversation, rewind this thing, and go back to Roth, Bill Cosbying his wife.
That's what I was going to say. The next thing you know, she was
nobody else found that a little weird.
It was an accident, Chop.
I didn't want to go there.
It was an honest to goodness accident. Guys, get out of here. We got a lot of content to get to in 35 minutes.
Good luck.
Chop going out on a high note. Welcome to it, ladies and gentlemen. You know the drill. It is crunch time, and I am joined by 2 of the sharpest minds in the industry, the aforementioned slightly sleepy Kirkdiese, and that drank. All right, is it you get like some NyQuil, some
Sprite? Is it
Sprite? Some scissor? I'm not sure.
Yeah, scissor.
Sounds fun. I'd give it a try. Kirkdiese, what's up, man?
Enough people rap about it that it definitely sounds fun, right?
I had the. You ever have the really sore throat and they give you the stuff that numbs your throat? You drink it. It's incredible. You mix that. That's some good stuff. Anyways, I don't condone any of the things that I may have done in college. Kirk, are you feeling okay, bud?
Yeah, I'm just like everything is slow. Feeling flowy a little bit, but
chopped and screwed.
Yeah, I'm also sick. But I'm here. I'm a gamer, man. You know, can't keep me out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you. We got TJ Zwarych in the house as well. TJ, we texted yesterday, 2 days ago. It was a blizzard. You had a blizzard at your house, sir.
Yeah, and it wasn't actually too bad. There wasn't actually near as much snow as I was expecting. The winds were pretty crazy, and like it was just throwing all the snow around, and it got really cold because of that wind. But I didn't have to go outside, so it was fine. There wasn't as much shoveling as expected. So little mini blizzard. Not even no kids were at school the next day. So
nice. Just a little mini blizzard there in Saskatoon. Gentlemen, we got to jump into the content side of things. If I'm being completely honest, I've done nothing but look at NFL weather all day. Just got an update from a field reporter there. She was the same person who tweeted 5 hours before the game, "It's raining so hard, it's going to be a flood." And God, does that piss me off. It's a day. It's 8 hours before the game. Nobody cares if it's raining 8 hours before the game. Anyways, the update looked pretty good. The winds weren't whipping. I would say my overall concern level is low to mild on that Thursday night football game.
They had a tarp on the field, and I was waiting to hear what you'd say because it's crazy. I never know how to deal with these weather games so much.
Yeah.
But one thing in my secret chat, we've got two people who their all-in bet of the year is on the opposite. One is on Seattle and one is on the Rams. So it's
amazing. That's
nice
a weird all-in bet of the year. Just straight up picking a team. I like it. Anyways, if you're thinking about fantasy or daily fantasy, I don't love the spot for kickers, but it's not the worst thing ever. And I think for everything else, you just play it as is. Receivers, quarterbacks, I just don't think the impact is there.
And everyone's usually when it's like a soggy field that favors the offensive player because the defensive guys are on their heels and no one thinks about that.
Yep.
And they hit that's when you see like Josh Allen just starts running and there's nobody there. And
nobody has the traction to get him. Yep, that is a thing. Anyways, I have not looked at the NBA slate. So TJ, I am relying on you to give us just a quick, that's right. Just a quick breakdown, kind of catch people up to speed of what's been going on. Maybe a 30-second breakdown, what we need to know.
Big slate, lots to pay up for. It kind of seemed like we were going to be having to scrounge for value a little bit. There were some cheap guys, but not a ton. And then New York ruled out half of their team. And so the Knicks opened up a ton of value for us. We're still waiting for a little bit. I think Milwaukee is the biggest thing we're still waiting on. Toronto has Jakob Poeltl listed as questionable. So those two things in that game I'm waiting on quite heavily. And then the biggest one is Anthony Davis. I'm leaning towards playing him like Anthony Davis is going to be out. And so I bumped up the Dallas players in my projections to not have Anthony Davis. And all I am basing that on is that he wasn't at shoot around this morning. And so he totally could have just been like, I don't feel great. I'd like to sleep in, and then still goes out and plays tonight. But I'm currently just putting him out in my personal projections just because of that lack of shoot around this morning. Davis, Poeltl, and then Milwaukee has AJ Green, Kyle Kuzma listed as questionable, which feels like nothing, but they're already without Giannis. And so that would make a guy like, I think, Bobby Portis pop a little bit in projections and a couple other things. So I do still have a few things I want to wait on, but for the most part, we have a lot of the important things that we already needed.
Okay, great rundown. Thank you for helping to catch me and maybe some others up. Let's dive into it. We like to start on DraftKings these days, and Kirkdiese, you get the honor. Lead us off at the old point guard spot.
All right, point guard position. We've got some pretty good value plays starting at the top. I'd say the best play on the slate, this is not a value play, but probably the most valuable play, is Luka Doncic. Gets the great matchup against the Jazz. They play much faster this season. They are terrible in defense. They give up a ton of steals. They can't protect the paint. And Austin Reeves is out.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. 29% usage is out of the lineup, and really only like Luka and Braun can really take that on. DeAndre Ayton is also out. So you go from a offensive minded big to a guy that really is only good at doing putbacks and layups and dunks. So I think it's just going to be a lot. I mean, Luka is just a phenomenal play. I don't at anyone can see it. So he's the best play on the slate in my opinion. Then you've got Jalen Brunson that has skyrocketed up, but they did put out a little quirky. Mike Brown said that he's going to monitor some of the regular starters' minutes that are playing tonight, and that's Jalen Brunson's. So who knows what that means, right? Like they use that monitor always, so you have no idea. So great, they're gonna keep track of minutes in his head. They don't tell us what he's gonna play. So I'm assuming he's pretty much full go. Give him maybe a little bit of a tiny dock, but he's 8,600. He's going to have massive usage. He's great. On the other side of Luka Doncic is a guy that nobody plays, who's just got a great ceiling, and is just in the zone right now too. Is Keontae George? I mean, he's coming off of a 53, 63 point before that. Fantasy point games, had 53 a couple of times before that. He's had a few busts in there. He is a little bit volatile. The Jazz as a whole are volatile. But you just get a great ceiling player for 7,900, and if Luka's going to go off, it's probably going to be where he's playing in the fourth quarter. And also, let me add that Luka's minutes have been crazy lately too, averaging almost 40 minutes the last few games. So I like Keontae, and Lauri Markkanen's out. That's another big piece of news. So Keontae's going to need even more offensive game there. Other than that, Cade Cunningham is going to be like criminally underowned for what he can do in a soft matchup against Dallas, especially if Anthony Davis sits. So I like that. And then a guy that I kind of like for value is Dylan Harper. I know Chop tagged him today, and it's against Washington. The thing about him is you're just looking to double dip on a blowout scenario. He plays in blowout. He comes off the bench. We've talked about him all season on Crunch Time. You know he's a baller, Roth. We all know he's a baller. He's 4,700, and you're hoping he gets blowout and regular minutes against Washington, which is just the best matchup.
Yeah, that's entirely too cheap.
And there's a ton of other plays too. Like I didn't mention Shea, I didn't mention Booker, I didn't mention Amon Thompson. It's just stacked.
Okay. I mean, a lot of good spots, but if I hear Kirkdiese say one more word, I might claw my ears out because I appreciate you fighting through it. TJ, what do you have at point? Obviously, you've got different plays at various levels here. What are you keying in on?
Yeah, it's so hard from like a single entry or cash perspective to figure out what to do because there are so many point guards and centers that we're going to want to play tonight. You just simply can't get them all. And so there are 4 guys that I'm looking at DraftKings point guard that I think, okay, I want to play these guys. And that doesn't even include Dylan Harper or Anthony Black, who are very much cash viable. But it's just one of those days that if you have shooting guard eligibility, that's where you go. That's where you go. You're moving over to that spot because there are just too many good point guards. And so the 4 guys that kind of stand out, it is like, I'm running 150 tonight and I'm playing a cash game as well. And the 4 guys that stand out that I want to jam all 4 of them in my cash game lineup are Luka Doncic, Tyler Kolek, Dylan Harper, and Keontae George. Now, I feel like Keontae George would be the one guy that's kind of like tournament pivot. Maybe I won't go to him in cash game. And then I look and Keontae George is in the top RotoGrinders optimal lineup. And so I go, or at least with some other things I've adjusted and kicked Anthony Davis out, kicked Jakob Poeltl out, things like that. He winds up in the optimal lineup for me. And so the guy I was most comfortable getting rid of is actually in the top lineup. And so that leaves me torn, but you're definitely playing at least 2, potentially 3 of Doncic, Kolek, Brunson, and Keontae George today in cash games. Also want to shout out that Kuzma already has been ruled out. Thank you to the chat for updating me with that. Happened while I was arguing with Dean, telling him he's a fool.
I think it may have happened after you said all of that about him. I think it may be.
Some places were slow to like update it and tweet it out, but it was like it happened like right as we were doing the crossover. And so those are the big 4 that I'm going to today. But still, there's so many other great guys at this position. Harper, like I mentioned, but I'd rather play him at shooting guard. Same with Black. I think there's another cheapie you can use as a pivot off of Tyler Kolek, and that's Isaiah Collier for Utah, since they're so heavily undermanned today. And then if you want to spend up, Cade Cunningham, SGA, Steph Curry, Kevin Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. All 5 of those guys have slate breaking upside, just aren't maybe as likely to hit it as the ones we previously mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to shooting guard.
This is where I want to play Dylan Harper and Anthony Black. This is also where I want to load up on guys like Bryce Sensabaugh and Jordan Clarkson. Both of them fully cash game viable as well. You're choosing between those 4 guys at here, and then we'll take 2 of them, Clarkson and Sensabaugh, over to the small forward position as well, because they do have that small forward eligibility. Those are the top 4: Harper, Clarkson, Sensabaugh, Black. Other guys I like for tournaments are Norman Powell. Don't mind some Stephon Castle, Brandon Ingram, Ryan Rollins. But I really, really like Cooper Flagg. We're currently projecting 1% ownership for Cooper Flagg, and he gets a massive, massive usage and fantasy point per minute bump without Anthony Davis out there. And so with me currently projecting Anthony Davis not to play, I do really like Cooper Flagg in that scenario as well. Some people in chat noting that Tyler Kolek is not starting. We didn't project him to start. We did not expect him to be starting. We did, however, expect Jordan Clarkson to start at that small forward position, and it is no longer Jordan Clarkson. It is Mohamed Diawara. And so we're going to have to wait for these projections to update and let us know what they think about Diawara in this starting role, because he is 3K flat. He was projected to play 11 minutes. I am very interested to see what his projection does when we have him bumped into the starting lineup. He isn't small forward eligible for what it's worth. He's power forward eligible.
Initial thoughts. Is this a dude who
Genuinely
do we know anything about
idea.
him? No idea. Okay. I love your honesty in just saying that. Tari Eason also out. I'm not sure if we had that projected or not.
He has played 3 games over 10 minutes this year. One of those, he had 12 minutes and 11 fantasy points, 10 minutes and 8 fantasy points, 20 minutes and 23 fantasy points. Mm-hmm. So based on incredibly low, small sample sizes,
a point a minute,
he has performed good.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how he'll do while in a starting lineup with Brunson, Bridges, OG Anunoby, etc.
Nor do we really know if this is like a token start or a you're getting a start and playing starters minutes type situation, I assume. Okay. Looks like we lost Kirkdiese. Maybe it's because I made fun of his voice. Maybe he passed out from the NyQuil. We don't know. But TJ, we're going to have you. Oh, he's back just in time. We thought you passed out on us, bud.
No, I was waiting. I couldn't figure out how to get myself back in the room. I don't know if TJ had to do it or what.
Welcome back.
Fix my mic. But MD is starting. The doctor, they call him Mohamed Diawara.
Oh, okay. That's a nice nickname, the doctor. Any interest personally, or you don't know?
Not really, but he's 3K, so maybe.
Sure. Okay. Other thoughts at shooting guard?
Yeah. So I like a lot of the things TJ said. I like Anthony Black. I like Stephon Castle. I like Dylan Harper. I like Norman Powell because of Hero being out and matchup with Brooklyn. I think Brandon Ingram's looks like has taken his game to a new level lately. It looks really, really good and probably gets decent matchup in this game against Milwaukee. So I like that. There's just a ton of good plays here too. There's Marcus Smart for more value. I love the Cooper Flagg sentiment. AD, his production is going to go up once AD goes out, and he's been balling, man. He's finally arrived. 42 minutes, 64 fantasy points in his last game against Utah. So I definitely like that. And also Devin Booker's getting back to full strength.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to small forward. Kirk, you got us there.
All right. Michael Porter Jr. I think is a pretty solid play, but he might lose some ownership now. He wasn't going to be that heavily owned anyway, just because the way the slate's shaping out. But I like Norman Powell here too as well. I like Jaime Jaquez Jr. Always solid when Hero's out. Should be a decent matchup for him to attack the paint, and that's what he does. He needs that like mid-range attack the basket also game to get going. Ace Bailey is a pretty nice value piece for 4,900, I think, in that Utah Lakers game. And then, small forward's kind of the worst position, I think, actually. But so I don't know. I'll go to TJ for the rest.
TJ?
Yeah, it's pretty gross. This is like another one of those spots that if they have small forward eligibility, there's a good chance I'm playing them there. Shooting guard's not that strong either, so I guess they're kind of similar. But I was getting a ton of Jordan Clarkson. I'm probably going to bump him down now that he's not in the starting lineup because I don't think he's going to project for 30 minutes anymore, but we'll see when that updates. And so my top small forward is going to be Bryce Sensabaugh, just loading up on him because he's super cheap, expected to start with Utah with a bunch of guys out. I'm also doing a lot of punting with Taylor Hendricks, another Utah player, just because the position's really gross, and he's a big man who has small forward eligibility. He should get a lot of minutes from Markkanen today. We have him projected for 17. If he gets 17, I think he can hit value for that price. If he happens to sneak for a little bit more, it could be a really good day for him. And so Ace Bailey, Taylor Hendricks, Bryce Sensabaugh, the three Jasmine, are probably going to be my three favorite small forwards today. And then the Knicks, Mikal Bridges, Jordan Clarkson, probably my second tier. And then just because all these guys have upside, Powell, Michael Porter Jr., Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, all guys that I'm getting to a little bit today. The one other name I'd want to throw out there, and we did just get Jakob Poeltl ruled out, which kind of was expected. He got downgraded midday with that back injury. Would have been fun if we wouldn't have got that until after lock, but now we should get Sandro Mamukelishvili projecting really well now. He's cheap. We'll get to him at power forward. But the last guy I'd want to mention in small forward is PJ Washington. This is another case like Cooper Flagg, where if we happen to get Anthony Davis out, PJ Washington becomes a good play. Doesn't project great right now, but if we get AD out, I like him a lot.
Okay, very good. Power forward.
This is where we have that Knicks guy starting, and again, I'm very curious where he ends up projecting. But Diawara and people in chat saying he's absolutely been crushing it in the G League. He is 6'9" with a 7'4" wingspan with a high motor. Get me excited to play this guy. He's 3K flat and has power forward eligibility. Other guys at this position I like quite a bit. I was getting to a lot of Yabusele before. I don't think I get there as much now because I would just rather play Diawara. Yeah. And so we'll see how that goes. But Mamu, this is news I was kind of hoping to get after lock because I already have 30% Sandro Mamukelishvili. And so Mamu is one of my top plays here at the position, getting an absolute ton of him. And then I don't mind, like, there's mid-tier names like Bobby Portis, Kyle Filipowski, OG Anunoby. Don't mind any of them, but this is also a good spot to get some spend-ups in. Guys like Jalen Johnson, guys like Alperen Şengün.
Yeah, okay, very good. Kirk, your thoughts at the 4? The doctor. You're muted, homie.
Am I muted? I don't think the doctor is that good of a play tonight, but we'll see what happens. Just because he's playing with a bunch of high-usage players already, and so not sure how he's going to fare. Definitely not as good in his G League, but I am aware of him. I do like Filipowski better than him personally, but that's my own decision. But it's also he's 5,700 versus the minimum, so I get it.
He's projected for 23 minutes now, which gives him 19 fantasy points, popping for that cheap price, but nothing crazy ridiculous.
Yeah, Şengün is by far my favorite. This is the perfect matchup setup for him against the Pelicans, who just give up a ton in the paint, and they don't play too fast. They play semi-fast, but not too much to run Şengün off the floor. So he's gonna be cooking tonight. He's on a roll right now. They got so gypped the other night. That was the worst foul call on the. I don't know if you watched that game that they lost the other.
I missed it.
Yeah, don't worry. The refs just literally took it from them. But LeBron and Şengün are probably the top two plays. Jalen Johnson get a little birthday narrative, I believe, today, and the dude's just crushing. You got to maybe bring him tiny bit down a little bit with Trey on the floor coming back for a little bit, but he's going to have limited minutes, and Jalen Johnson's still a good play with or without him. The guy just fills up the stat sheet. Paulo Banchero, tough matchup against Denver, but with everyone out, with a bunch of guys running the offense out, he's going to need to step in and do a lot of that. So I think he should have insanely high usage, and I think he's a good play. Bobby Portis is a little bit interesting to me, and Noah Clowney, like kind of all that mid. There's a lot of mid-range stuff that does have some ceiling here, so that's what I like.
Okay, go to center.
All right, center. Do this quicker.
Did you mute yourself again while doing that? Yeah.
Joker's on the slate, so he's obviously great play. As always, he's 800 more than Luka. I think Luka's a better play, but he's Joker. He's insane. So why not? Şengün, again, you can play at center or power forward. Jackson Hayes is kind of the value guy at 3,500, going to be starting for the Lakers against the Jazz. Nick Claxton, I kind of like, and Bam Adebayo or Jalen Duren.
Yeah. Okay. TJ, your thoughts for the big man?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking at my lineups and I'm getting 65% Jackson Hayes right now, which just feels a little too much. I want to have one Laker in every lineup, but it's getting me more LeBron than I want and a little bit more Jackson Hayes than I want. And so probably going to bump that down, maybe just not make it a rule that I have to have one Laker in every lineup. But I guess outside of Hayes and Hukporti, like it's not that crazy strong of a position outside of the guys up top. Like you do have Nikola Jokic up top who looks great. You have Şengün up top who looks great. A couple guys in the mid tier like Khalil Ware, Onyeka Okongwu, Bam Adebayo, I don't mind. But you're playing Jackson Hayes in cash for sure. He's still a great tournament play. And then you're playing Hukporti probably in cash, but you can play him in tournaments too. The question is, do you play Hukporti on DraftKings at the utility position or a third point guard is kind of the decision you have to make. And I don't think there's a wrong answer there.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. We want to kick it over to FanDuel. We only have 14 minutes until lock. We got a late start to the show. Some people are arguing. I want to make sure that you have shot quality if you're playing NBA
You
DFS.
weren't even here, man.
What's that, TJ?
You were here late and you're going to blame my arguing?
I said I was going to arrive late. You were to start the show in my absence. I was doing PR hits. Hey, if you're playing NBA DFS and you're still relying on box scores, it is a good point, TJ. Check out Shot Quality. It's free for a 3-day trial. It lets you know literally how good of a shot was this. Not just, oh, he shot 1 for 10. This guy sucks and takes bad shots. No, he took great shots. The next game, he's going to make 7 of them. You want to know that information. 3-day free trial. Head into the link in the show description. After that, it renews monthly for $39.99. It's $39.99 if you didn't hear me. Don't play blind. Play smarter with Shot Quality. TJ, let's kick it over to FanDuel. Point guard, what do you got?
A lot of the same names that we covered over on DraftKings. Pardon me, I have to adjust my screen a little bit. You still, I think, want to pay up for Luka Doncic. Now, he is crazy expensive over on FanDuel. He's 12.5K, but we have had a ton of value open up that I still think you want to get to Luka today. Second point guard position are when things are kind of up for grabs. I do really like Jalen Brunson. I don't think there's any problem with doing the double pay up for both of them today. But same thing where it's guys like Harper, Keontae George, Anthony Black. If they have shooting guard eligibility, you probably want to play them there. Tyler Kolek is still probably fine here on FanDuel. I don't think I get there as much personally, but it's Luka Doncic, and then from a cash perspective, Doncic, and then your choice of Harper, Kolek, Keontae George, Anthony Black, Jalen Brunson. And those are probably most of the names I'm looking to stick for tournaments as well.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Kirk, your thoughts there. Anything you want to add at point? If not, take us right to shooting guard.
All right. No, I just want to add that Cade Cunningham is a great play. And someone, Hoosier said that in the chat. Yeah. Is he the one that can break the slate no one's talking about? Yes. I agree. And I love Shaedon Sharpe against Sacramento. He's a shooting guard eligible guy, so I'll just pull it over there. So at shooting guard, a lot of the same names. Amen Thompson is in play. I probably like Keontae George a little better, especially with playing Luka, just trying to get them both going in that game. Stephen Castle, Shaedon Sharpe, as I just mentioned, Anthony Black. KPJ has been awesome this season, and the 8,800 price tag is kind of gross, but the usage is, deserves it. So I could see that working out, and a little bit on the cheaper end for Orlando with guys being out. I think Desmond Bane is in play.
Yeah. Okay. Was that shooting guard?
Yeah, shooting guard.
All right. Very good. Kirk, your TJ, your thoughts there. If you want to add anything at shooting guard, go for it. If not, take us to small forward.
Yeah, might as well just go straight to small forward. Jalen Johnson does have small forward eligibility here on FanDuel. I think that's a nice spend up, as is Denny Avdia, who we didn't have over on the DraftKings slate. LeBron's extra cheap here. Desmond Bane is extra cheap here. It's a great spot if you want to spend all the way up. If you want to save salary, I don't mind Marcus Smart's. Simone Fontecchio is projecting pretty well, but I don't really love his ceiling, nor do I love Rui Hachimura's ceiling. Those are two guys that are projecting fairly well but they're getting some ownership as well. I would rather go to somebody like an Ace Bailey for a little bit more expensive, or Bryce Sensabaugh is projecting for way lower ownership on FanDuel, and I still think he's a great play here as well.
Yeah. Okay. Kirk, anything you want to add at small forward? If not, take us to the 4.
I'll just say Denny Avdia is always a smash play in a great match
he
against
is.
Sacramento. So I like that. I know that's your boy, so we have to mention him, and also Paulo Banchero as well. But where do you want me to move it on over to power forward?
Yes, please.
All righty. Şengün is power forward eligible, so you can play one of these good center plays and also have him at power forward if you want to do it that way. Probably the best way to build. LeBron is in play, 8,700. He gets the cheaper price tag over here. Perfectly reasonable price tag for with even though he hasn't been the greatest, but with Reeves out, definitely could pay off that tag pretty easily. Avdia again, Ingram, Paulo Banchero again, Jalen Johnson, all the same plays. Bam Adebayo is power forward eligible as well. I'm trying to find a cheaper guy to play. I can't. I'm not even going to say it. So I'll say like Jaime Jaquez Jr. is kind of that low mid-range, 6,200 is pretty nice price.
Yeah. Okay. TJ, anything you want to add at 4? If not, take us to center.
Yeah, center spot. This is again probably a spot where you're paying down today. You have Jackson Hayes at $3,800. That is the cash game play today. You have Ariel Hukporti, who projects very well. Also, if you want to play Hukporti over Hayes on FanDuel because you need that couple $100, and sure, but I would definitely rather play Hayes. Outside of those two super cheap guys, you can spend up for Şengün. You can spend up in the mid tier to somebody like a Claxton, a Bam, or go all the way up to Jokic because nobody's going to be playing him today. And so all of those guys, strong tournament options, I don't mind, but Hayes is the clear cash game guy.
Okay, very good. If you hear any background noise, my 5-year-old is dribbling a basketball outside my office, and I'm not sure if I should be proud or punish. It's like, I do want you dribbling a basketball, maybe not while I'm doing a show. Figure that out. Hey, we've got 7 minutes here until we hit the lock. We've got some questions coming in. Let's get to it. Also, got to make sure we've got the old Discord pulled up. That's where the cool kids are hanging out. Kirk, I wanted to talk about New York, right? Half of New York is out. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, pretty much.
But one of them who is in has some sort of starting streak. Is this all accurate?
Yes, Mikal Bridges. And he's in the past has done I'll play just for the first few minutes stint and then come off the floor and never see it again.
So is this on the table? And is this enough? First off, are people playing him? And second, are you concerned that that's legit going to happen and that you shouldn't play him because of that?
I think it's possible, but they just have limited play. I just personally, I think he's going to play, but I'm totally guessing. So, I mean, we've seen it before, so it's an added risk for sure.
TJ,
I think we've only seen that when he was on the Nets, and that was a team that was tanking. And so that's why he would do it. They weren't, that wasn't because of injury. It was because just team trying to lose. With the Knicks actively trying to, be one of the best teams, if not the best team in the Eastern Conference, I think he plays I think he just plays.
Okay. Good notes. Thank you for that.
He's not injured. It would just be potential rest. And he's not a guy that rests.
Yeah. Okay.
It would just be his streak. And if they wanted to rest him, he was like, my streak or whatever. But.
Right. All right. Let's get to some of these questions here, starting with Achilles in the YouTube chat where the cool kids hang out. TJ, DK Cash, Yabusele, Keontae, or Black and Toby Harris?
I don't like Yabusele or Harris for cash, but I guess the second one.
Okay. Kirk Peterman says, last piece, Ryan Nembhard or Jordan Clarkson?
I like Nembhard, and I think his projection can go up. Brandon Williams is in. So actually, I would probably go Jordan Clarkson now with Brandon Williams and D'Angelo Russell just being announced in for Dallas.
Okay. Boy, some of the last names.
Anthony Davis playing too.
Yeah, all of Dallas guys are in.
Okay. D-Rock says, Kirk, DKGPP, Hukporti and Fontecchio or Sandro and Yabusele?
I don't really want to play Yabusele's, but so I'll go the first option.
Okay.
You know what? Huck Tua is his nickname too. I'm not making that up. That's like he got that nickname right when it came around.
All right. Yeah.
For some reason, it was viral.
Diawara, is that the guy's name?
No, Huck Porty.
No. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. The doctor.
The doctor or Yabusele. If you're playing one or the other, are you going with the doctor?
Give me the doctor.
Yeah. TJ.
Spice
Big
it up.
time, the doctor.
Yeah. Okay. TJ, last piece on DK. Kolick or Hayes?
Hayes.
TJ, what's Pascal's ownership?
Oh, it can't be high. 0.66% projected owned.
Smash them then.
Okay. Kirk, what about Bane on DK?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. Kirk, DK GPP in the util, 8,500 or left. Anger says there's just too many options for my brain. Help me. We can do that.
All right. 80. This is DK.
Yep. 8,500 in the util. Too many good plays available.
All right. So you've got Jalen Brunson right above it at 8,600, and same with Paulo. Those would be the guys that I would like to try to get to the most. But 8,500 gives you Jamal Murray, who's a good play. De'Aaron Fox, who's a fine play. Durant. What happened?
Sorry. Someone said, producer Steve says, I have the same build as Bane. Doesn't he have like little arms?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look how tiny those little arms are. I do not have little arms. I have little hands.
I just meant your big jacked muscles.
Oh, that part is true. I am swole as hell. That part is true.
Calm down, Steve. Don't get all riled up back there. Did you hear that?
Stop.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Did you give him a play? I'm sorry.
Think about the people watching too. You might get them riled up.
Let's see. FanDuel single entry lineup. TJ, Jalen Williams or Wolf to get Şengün and Jackson Hayes.
Williams or Wolf? One more time, sir.
Jalen Williams or to get Şengün and Jackson Hayes.
I guess Wolf.
Okay. Thoughts on Pascal, TJ?
I'm not getting there personally.
Okay. Is OG Kirk? Is OG a good play at 6,200 on DK?
I would have to say on DK, yeah. I mean, he should be, but we don't know what this whole monitored minutes thing.
Yeah. Okay. Kirk, Dylan Harper, my guy, or Clarkson?
Dylan Harper for me. A little more expensive though, right?
TJ, Kolick or Collier?
Kolick.
Okay. Very good. Got more questions coming in. The Discord, DK, GPP, TJ, it's a 3v3. Luka Brunson, Jalen Johnson with scrubs. Oh, it's not a 3v3. It's just Luka Brunson, Jalen Johnson with scrubs or blow it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's totally fine. Yeah.
You gotta know the scrubs, I guess. FanDuel Cash, TJ, Amen or Chianti?
Chianti, by law.
Okay. Can I get TJ thoughts on me using Jamal Shed in a large field DK tournament?
No.
Okay. You can't. Your thoughts are no, not you can.
My thoughts are no, not that you can't have my thoughts.
Just wanted to clarify. FanDuel Cash, Kirk, Black or DDR?
Anthony Black.
Davion Mitchell, a good single lineup point. Kirk, single entry.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. Anger says, is Nemhard, Kirk, still GPP viable?
So he's talking about Ryan Nemhard.
I
We have
think
two
so.
Nemhards. I would assume he's talking about Ryan, and I'd say no now. Even though he is starting, it just does not look like a good play. If other guys were out, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. We are moments until lock. We have answered just about all the questions. In fact, we have answered them all. Let's say our goodbyes while Kirk just goes and chugs some NyQuil, pop some NyQuil, I guess. Call it a night. Let's do it. Kirk, does that sound good? Yeah.
Not even gonna. I don't want you to hear my voice. I'm just gonna
Thank you.
nod my head.
Honestly,
So,
thank you. All right, Kirk, for TJ, for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.